What is going on? Chief High Smoke back to you with another one. And it looks like John Harbaugh has found his next home just a few hours up Interstate 95, roughly 1 week after being fired as the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens. After 18 seasons on the job, Harbaugh is reportedly finalizing an agreement to become the next head coach of the New York Giants. The Giants were hot on Harbaugh since his dismissal in Baltimore, including New York senior player personnel executive Chris Mara having lunch with the coach in Baltimore before he visited the team facility on Wednesday. ESPN reported the deal is not yet finalized and the contract numbers are still being negotiated, but that the Giants are expected to hire him as soon as possible. The Atlanta Falcons also discussed their coaching vacancy with Harbaugh, with the Tennessee Titans reportedly intriguing the 63-year-old's interest throughout the process. The Giants, who are coming off a 4-13 season and haven't made the playoffs since 2022, fired head coach Brian Daboll in November after the team's 2-8 start. A bright spot for the Giants' dark season was rookie quarterback Jackson Dart, who totaled 2,272 passing yards, 15 touchdowns, 5 interceptions with a 91 passer rating in 14 appearances, 12 starts, while completing 63% of his passes. He also rushed for 487 yards and 9 touchdowns. Dart was present for New York's in-person interview with Harbaugh. Over Harbaugh's 18 seasons in Baltimore, 2008 to 2025, the Ravens win a combined 180 and 113 in the regular season, 13 and 11 in the postseason, and won the AFC North 6 times. Harbaugh's 180 regular season wins puts him 14th in NFL history in a stint highlighted by the Ravens winning the Super Bowl. As for their offseason prospects, the Giants have the number 5 and number 37 overall picks in the 2026 NFL Draft and are projected to have roughly $12 million in cap space before any potential roster cuts happen. Harbaugh will be the Giants' 7th head coach, combine both full-time and interim coaches since the team parted ways with Tom Coughlin following the 2015 great move for the Giants. It almost reminds me of when Andy Reid left Philadelphia and they fired him for some reason. And the Ravens fired Harbaugh, who gets this team the playoffs every single year. This is exactly what the Giants needed. It reminds me of what happened in 2012, 2013 when the Chiefs got Andy Reid and they had the number 1 overall pick that year. They got Eric Fisher, drafted a guy named Travis Kelce, and the rest was history. So John Harbaugh can do exactly what Andy Reid did with the Kansas City Chiefs. I can see it. They already have Malik Neighbors coming off from injury. Andrew Thomas, a left tackle, coming off an injury as well. Solid defensive line. Abdul Carter, they drafted. I really think they need to draft Wan'Dale Robinson, or they need to re-sign Wan'Dale Robinson in free agency. But I believe in Jackson Dart. If you remember at the end of the regular season or a few weeks ago, when the Giants had the number 2 overall pick and people thought Dante Moore was still coming out, people were saying to trade Jackson Dart, including Mel Kiper, who said that. I'm a believer in Jackson Dart. I saw his first start against the Chargers. He went on to win that game. Tremendous moxie, poise in the pocket. And what I like about him is that he'll take a linebacker on head on and he'll put a right shoulder into him. He's not afraid to take a hit. He's also a smart quarterback as well. The 9 rushing touchdowns, 500 yards rushing. That's a dangerous weapon that he has. And this offense is only going to get stronger. I do think in the draft they need to address the cornerback position. Harbaugh typically with the Ravens always has really good defenses. So I could see them changing the culture in New York right away. They already have the defensive line in place. Lawrence, Abdul Carter, guys like that. I just think they need to get a solid corner in the draft. And I could see them trading back from 5 to some team possibly that wants to go up and get a quarterback. Let's say Simpson hasn't been grabbed by pick 5. And some team wants to come up and get him. Maybe it's the Rams at 12. I'd made a mock draft basically saying that the Giants need to address their offensive line and they need to address their cornerback position. Everything else, they can, handle in free agency, the back end of the draft. But I do think those are their two biggest holes on this roster. It isn't playmaker. I believe in Scadaboo, Tyrone Tracy, guys like that. I believe in Malik Neighbors, Wandell Robinson. I do think possibly they should go get another playmaker in free agency. There's some wide receivers out there this year who they can go grab, but their biggest signing should be Wandell Robinson. This is his first year that he's had over 1,000 yards. I really think this is a slot receiver that's now turning in to a solid one or two wide receiver. He was just a wide receiver 3. So he's coming into his own, and he can do a lot on the line of scrimmage, go in motion, put him in the slot, inside, outside. So I like what the Giants have on this roster, but they need to address some holes in the NFL draft, and Harbaugh will do that. The Ravens always had a really good special teams. They always had really good kick returners, punt returners. That's Harbaugh's strength. If you remember, he was a special teams coach to start, and went into the head coaching role. Got Joe Flacco, selected Lamar Jackson in the back end of the draft when nobody said Lamar Jackson could throw the football. Well, I mean, he ended up turning out to be pretty good, didn't he, out of Louisville? So Harbaugh's taken some risks, and he's a coach that can develop players, and I think that's what the Giants are lacking. If you look at Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones, I know a lot of people have talked about this, but they continue to go to other teams and make plays, and they never did that for the Giants. That won't happen with Harbaugh. Harbaugh will figure out if these players are good enough to keep, and he will get them right by year 2 or 3, where the Giants don't have to question if they should resign a player or not. And I think that's what Harbaugh's strength is, player development. He's a player's coach, but he holds you accountable. I think with this win-loss record, players coming in are going to respect him, and that's something that players didn't respect from coaches in New York. Brian Daboll, he might have been a great coach with Josh Allen in Buffalo, but then when he had to run his own ship, you saw what happened in New York. And not a lot of guys can do it. It's a head coach of the NFL is a job you don't wish to have because it's long hours, and you basically take the job to know you're going to get fired. And it's rare you see someone like Mike Tomlin or Harbaugh available. That's why I compared it to Andy Reid coming to Kansas City about 15 years ago. Guys, if you can, go check out my buddy Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Daniel does highlights on the NFL, NBA, MLB, hockey, wrestling, Olympics, you name it. Daniel's got the highlights. He also does play-by-plays on the Dodgers, Rams, Lakers. Make sure you go over there and show him some love. I'd appreciate it. That's Daniel Berry, Berri. I'd appreciate it. Sports Highlights. Thank you guys for watching.